At 6, seniors are sounding the alarm about a Delray Beach business. They're accusing the business of billing Medicare in their name for medical equipment they didn't need, and they're turning to WPTV for answers.
And Chief Investigator Jamie Ostroff listened to their concerns and uncovered a larger pattern of questionable Medicare bills.
Yeah, and this all started when some Medicare recipients paid attention to a document that many tend to just throw away.
Oh, yeah.
Mike and Connie Parrott are in good health.
No, I hadn't even been to a doctor for anything.
So when an explanation of benefits from Medicare arrived at their Fort Myers home in March,
I thought maybe we opened the wrong person's mail, and I saw my name was on it.
$1,759 billed to Medicare for medical equipment Connie said she didn't need.
We didn't think too much about it. It was only $1,000. Thought it was a mistake. I think he did call then. But then when we got the second one for over $5,000, then we realized this could be a pattern.
That's right. 2 weeks after the first EOB arrived, a second one showed up. All told, Connie's Medicare was billed for back braces, wrist braces, and multiple glucose monitors. The total bill, $5,130. Medicare paid about $2,400 of that. The rest was billed to the Parrott's secondary insurance.
And they didn't pay any of those claims at all. So I said, I don't think this is right. This is not ours. Because she doesn't have diabetes and arthritis or anything.
I jog, I ride a bicycle up and down the mountains. There's absolutely nothing wrong with me.
And you mentioned mountains. I think we need to talk about where you are located.
I live in Western Pennsylvania.
Like the Parrots, Nancy Kubas also noticed some unusual charges on her Medicare account.
Lumbar sacral orthosis, sagittal coronal control, rigid shells, panels, anterior extends from symphysis pubis to exvoid, pendulous abdomen design, prefabricated off the shelf. That was the first one. Second was a little shorter. Would you like me to go on?
Multiple braces, again, adding up to $5,130 billed to Medicare.
How can this be happening? There must be something going on that someone is not aware of.
Neither Nancy nor the Parrots live in our 5-county viewing area, but they reached out to WPTV for the same reason. The company that was billing Medicare is in Delray Beach, Sunshine Senior Solutions,
a trusted medical supply company that puts patients first.
A simple Google search reveals more than 100 similar reviews, complaining about what some reviewers call fraudulent charges to Medicare, many citing that familiar amount, $5,130.
$5,000 multiplied by 100 is a lot.
Probably more than that.
Yeah.
So I called Medicare. I reported it as fraud.
Well, I called the Medicare a fraud line, talked to a lady, gave her all the information, and she said, well, it could take a year to 2 years for this to be resolved.
The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid couldn't confirm or deny any ongoing investigations, but a spokesman told me investigations take time because they can be large, complex, and face the long timelines that come with due process.
What was your reaction when they told you that it might take years to investigate?
Absolutely amazed. Absolutely. You know, I was hoping they would send someone today right over to that facility and find out what's going on.
I called Sunshine Senior Solutions and reached a voicemail for someone named Sherry.
And I'm calling because we've received complaints from a number of people.
No one returned my message, so I visited Sunshine Senior Solutions. Their address is a suite inside this private office building on Linton Boulevard. Privacy laws prevent us from recording inside.
All right, so what happened?
So Sunshine Senior Solutions was in there. It's an office suite, and it has a paper sign taped to the door. Someone did answer the door. It was a female employee. I asked her if she was Sunshine Senior Solutions. She said she was, and I explained why I was there. I explained that I'm an investigative reporter with WPTV. She said she didn't understand what durable medical equipment was. I said, what is the setup here? You know, how does this work? Do you guys get an order and then bill Medicare for it? She says, I don't know. I'm just a follower. I just do the paperwork.
The employee wouldn't identify who was in charge and said she didn't know who Sherry was, despite telling me to call that same phone number.
I'm walking out of there with a lot more questions than I had walking in.
To answer those questions, I did some digging. Business records filed with the Florida Secretary of State's office show Sunshine Senior Solutions was founded in April of 2020. During its 5 years of existence, business records show a rotating carousel of leadership, mainly back and forth between its founder and other individuals.
I believe you are the owner of Sunshine Senior Solutions.
I called as many phone numbers as I could find for this group of people.
I'm a reporter at WPTV. From WPTV at WPTV, Sunshine Senior Solutions, Sunshine Senior Solutions. And I've got some questions.
None got back to me, including the company's current authorized member, who doesn't appear on public records to have a Florida address, and its founder, who records show lives in Delray Beach. She has removed herself and reinstated herself 3 times as an authorized board member, most recently removing herself last November. I'm not sharing her name because she hasn't been charged with a crime. But in 2023, someone with the same name signed a court document identifying themselves as the girlfriend of a man charged with a Medicare-related fraud. Victor Van Vickery is currently serving a federal prison sentence after pleading guilty to conspiracy to commit healthcare fraud. In court documents, the government alleged Vickery and 2 unidentified co-conspirators bilked Medicare out of more than $10.5 million by fraudulently billing for durable medical equipment. Vickery's name does not appear in any business filings for Sunshine Senior Solutions.
So I did request a phone interview with Vickery via the prison he is currently incarcerated in South Carolina. Still waiting to hear back on that one, though.
This is incredible, Jamie. I mean, what should someone do if they suspect Medicare fraud?
Yeah, this is something that some experts estimate costs billions a year to taxpayers. So first of all, do not throw out that explanation of benefits. It's important. So even if you don't owe anything out of pocket, maybe your secondary insurance picks up the rest of the tab, it does impact taxpayers, of course, and it could actually impact you in the future, because if your insurance is billed for something you don't need now, they might deny your claim if you do need it later on in life. So CMS says it does take time, but it's important to keep on reporting that suspected fraud. The volume really does help kind of build a case here, and those documents help as well as you hold on to them. So you can report that fraud by calling 1-800-MEDICARE. More information at WPTV.com.